They're
Alright.
dense.
They're dense. They're very wide. Yeah.
Alright.
And you see, basically, it's obvious to see. You see a clearing, and in the clearing is a stone cube. And the stone cube has a set of double doors in the front of it, kind of not facing you, but you can see the entrance. And he says, "That's the old asylum. Used to be called the Rock." You see that there are, based on what the windows look like, there are 2 stories as well as kind of basement and windows on the ground, adjacent to the ground.
Alright. I turn back to him and like, so this disguise.
Are you,
How?
are you whispering or are you saying normal?
Oh, I wish. Oh, whatever tone he's taken with me, I'll match
Okay,
it.
same thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll turn back to him and I'll say, so this disguise. What exactly is it?
With my materials and my skill, I can make you look and smell undead.
Well, the dwarves won't have any problems with the smell.
Sick burn.
Yeah. But what about mannerisms and whatnot? Do we have to act like them?
You will. Undead don't. Zombies don't speak. They don't. They grunt mostly. They don't really think. You'll need to if you do this, you'll need to act undead as well as you'll look and smell it, but you also have to play the part.
So are they shambling or are they like sort of hands out? Like what are we talking like here?
Shambling, like
Okay.
yeah.
Um.
And I'll let you know that this is me talking, Graham. That Alistair kind of already had a shamble going.
Yeah, I assume that he would have no problems with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Xander says once you go in there will be no talking.
Even inside, do you suspect that it's filled to the brim with undead?
I have no idea. I've seen at least 100 skeletons and zombies go in there over the past day.
Okay. And what was Alistair wearing? Would we be able to tell him apart?
He petitioned me to let him keep his hat on.
Obviously. I turn back to the dwarves and I'm like, well, this doesn't seem like we will need every one of you, and I assume that having a bunch of you together would make more noise than necessary. I look back at the forest and there's just like a giant dwarf-shaped fucking lion coming through the forest. I assume they're not very stealthy. Or are they?
No, yeah, there's a dwarf-shaped hole through the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Xander will say, he says, unfortunately, I have material enough for 3 more disguises.
Well, surely one of our disguises would make 4 of the dwarves.
It doesn't really work that way.
Okay. Well, then I look at the dwarves and I'm just like, well, what is the plan here? I assume we will have a scouting party, and if nothing happens, what then?
Graham,
Yeah.
is there anything that that Bafar has on the other dwarves? That is to say, is he the strongest sword arm? Is he the best shield or anything like that?
He's actually the oldest one there.
All right.
Is that like wise as well, or is like how does that work?
It can be. Yeah, I mean, depends. I mean, Baffar's wisdom is like 5.
Wow, really? Okay.
I'll call out to Bulvor. Then I'm like, Bulvor, let me go.
And Xander shushes you. Be quiet. Whisper.
Well, I'm not shouting.
Bova! It's like, what?
He's like, what, 2 dwarves away from me? I'm not billowing.
2 dwarves.
Keep it down.
I'll be like, Bulvor, let me go.
He says, Baffar, I'm first in command.
Yeah. Yeah, but you need to stay here and lead the others. You'll have to mount the rescue when these two clowns cause me to fail.
I take a look at all the dead branches and leaves hanging off his armor as he like climbs through the forest. And I don't say anything. I just sort of help him take the sticks off his armor.
And Xander says, "No, leave those in. We need those."
Yeah,
No.
it's zombie-ish.
No, and okay, Bolvor will smile and look at you, Balfar, and he will say, "Since you kind of made a jibe, necessarily a joke, but it was a lighthearted comment," and he'll say, "Yeah, you've always been the jokester, haven't you?"
Dave, your mic is
Hey.
upscaling.
That
Is it? I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's why.
All right. Yeah, it's fixing again.
Okay.
He'll say,
What did he say?
He'll say, since the last thing you said was kind of humorous in tone, he'll say, "Yeah, you've always been the biggest jokester of any of us." He'll just kind of smile forlornly. Not really within
cheer-
character to try and talk somebody out of something.
Cheer up. Cheer up. We'll be hunting basilisks again in no time.
And all of the dwarves look at each other, and just without even preparing beforehand, they all say, "For Bolvor," or not for Bolvor, for Bafar. And they all lift like invisible tankards that they don't have, but they're miming, and they'll take swigs from them as kind of like a salute. And I imagine you do the same. That's kind of like your team thing.
To go team venture. Yeah, exactly. We will. I'll raise a tank. And
Team venture. Yeah.
And he will say, and Xander will say, "One more thing. You see the dandy up there on the porch?" Pointing to the asylum.
The dandy.
That's what he says. He points with one eye closed to the front door of the asylum. There's a humanoid figure standing there with his arms folded behind his back. I did, because I didn't. This would probably be important to mention. There are about 20 skeletons and about 5 zombies milling about outside the front door, kind of facing the door.
Okay.
Just kind of standing there in a mob.
Alright.
There's a humanoid figure standing on the porch with his arms folded behind his back. He is wearing kind of butler's clothing of black and white, and he has a foppish powdered wig hanging slightly askew on his head.
Okay.
And Xander says he's always there. He lets things in and lets them leave. Anytime zombies or skeletons shamble up with weapons from their previous lives, he takes them away and takes them somewhere inside the building, and then returns out here. I can't tell you what will happen if the doorman confiscates your weapons, but I know that he will. Give your weapons to me, and I'll hide them with care. Try and bring them in at your own risk. He doesn't check all that well, so smaller weapons should be able to be concealed.
can I make my? Can I fixate my shield to my back so it looks like it's part of my armor?
You can try. Would you like to?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Okay.
at least strap it to my back so it's not like on my arm, and that way it may just look decorative or something, and he may not.
Kind of like strap it in like a backpack. You mean? So it's just kind of
Yeah,
would be-
that way I at least have it with me.
okay.
And is
The other 5 dwarves have kind of separated, have given you some talking room as, not part of this immediate group.
I'll ask around through. I assume that a longsword is still a longsword. It's not like a dwarven longsword, which is smaller, right?
It's still a long sword. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask around from the other dwarves if any of them have a boot knife or something similar.
Oh, let's see. So you know that Bolvor, or rather Thor, carries a two-handed sword, Bolvor a great axe, Balaam a long sword and shield. Balin has a trident, and Dalem carries a halberd, and they all have hunting knives. Well, no, not all of them. Bolvor and Thor have hunting knives, and Bolvor will say that it is a great honor for him to lend it to you, implying that you
promise to bring it back in one piece.
yeah, implying that you will be okay with subtext.
Yeah. I will. Then I'll boot that.
What are the rest?
I'm gonna have to leave behind my my sword that looks like it's made by a 7-year-old, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
I will carry my Lucerne with me.
Okay.
In fact, would wouldn't my crossbow be too large as well?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Graham, I just want to do a perception check here or something like that. Is there like undead corpses walking around that do they all walk around the same, or is there some that have like a bit more menace to them?
Well, there are some that appear. What do you mean? Just like in the face?
What I want to do is basically I want to basically see an undead, like a larger undead, and basically try to imitate that so I can make an intimidation check on this dandy. You know what I mean? Like I want to seem more like a bigger, rougher, more tougher undead. If
You can, but you know that dwarves have. I mean, undead have no skills. They can't intimidate. They can't really do anything.
No, basically, I want to have
You want to have a scowl or kind of look
a
scary.
look, and maybe like, have you ever seen like how boxers walk around, for example? Like they have that sort of like swagger to them, like just in the way that they walk.
I think what we're discussing here is, intimidation is something that you actively try and do against someone. He wants to be menacing.
Yeah.
Which is just something that you are passively.
Sure.
And the idea here is that I want it to assume that if he was to approach me, my natural predatorial instincts would kick in and I would attack whoever it was. So it would be best for him not to. That's what I'm trying to like achieve here.
I understand that. Buffart, why don't you give me monster lore? Let's check.
Me?
I believe it's 9. Yeah.
Okay,
See,
what do I...
roll a d20 and you want to get under whatever your
it's
skill
always
is.
just a d20. You want to get equal to the score or lower than... So 9 or lower.
Woo! I did it!
Buffart, you know that zombies aren't... If the doorman is not a zombie, you think, based on the way he's looking, that he's actually looking around. You can see that he's looking around, like looking at the different zombies. He's not just standing there. He's not just automated. So you know that is a ghoul, and that ghouls have some form of intelligence, and that a ghoul would have no problem, no matter how menacing the zombie was, knowing that he's a zombie, that he can't retaliate because he's a zombie. And a zombie would, unless he wasn't a zombie, he wouldn't attack a ghoul because a ghoul is also undead.
I will explain then that guy is probably a ghoul, which is a smart zombie, and by being a smart zombie would know that other zombies won't attack him, or at least assume that other zombies wouldn't attack him.
Alright, then I turn to Zanzar and I'm like, can you make it appear that this thing is inside of me? Like a weapon wound or something like that?
With the Lucerne?
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Like maybe I've been struck from the top down and it's stuck inside my body or corpse.
Yeah, maybe a little tricky. But I think it's doable.
Alright then.
He kind of, holds his thumb up and looks at you with it.
Sticks his tongue out.
Yep.
Roll art.
Yeah. No, he spends... So at that point, he spends multiple minutes on each character's disguise, basically, and,
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, putting some bits of zombie flesh that he's collected on your shoulder and on your head. And, dusting up your face so it looks all green and gaunt and, giving some definition to your cheekbones and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially making you smell undead with, Oh, there's sirens going on outside. Hold on, I got the window open.
I can't hear it, it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. And so yeah, you guys look and smell undead, and Walzer, your lucerne is like appears to be embedded in your chest.
Okay.
And he's even taken some zombie flesh and put it around the lip of the lucerne, so it's like it's stuck in there.
Okay. Does it look like it would be tough to take out?
Might be.
Okay. All right. We'll roll with that then.
Okay. But you're gonna have to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's leaning against your shoulder,
Okay.
and he says, what's essentially what we want to know is what's going on in there. This is Xander talking to you,
Alright.
talking to Walzer,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, find Alistair, fine, but if you can, find out how to stop the undead from arriving, because once they all get here, whatever that means, I don't want to know what happens next.
Do you have any idea what's drawing them here?
I don't. That's what I need you to find out.
Okay. You sure it's nothing like a maternal sense or something?
I don't know what that means.
Like, as in, like, the moment they become undead, they know where to go? I don't want to say programming because that doesn't exist.
Yeah, no,
Instincts.
he gets what you mean, and Bafar knows that that's not the way it really works. This is odd.
I'm going to make a suggestion now. It's going to be kind of weird if two guys and a dwarf all show up together at the same time. Perhaps we should stagger our approach.
All right. I'll go first.
Xander says, that's a good idea.
All right. I will go first then.
Says me and the dwarves will be out here. We'll once you're inside, we'll attempt to stop any more undead from coming in.
You will do battle.
Out here, at least, yes. In the trees.
All right then. So what do I need to do in order to pass the door? Is it like a check or some sort?
You don't know. You're not there yet.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you attempting to just kind of join the mob that's outside?
well, okay. So how have we? Okay, in this time that we've been sitting here disguising ourselves, has any more undead shown up?
No.
Okay. So what is the mob trying to do out the front?
Just kind of standing.
Are they like attempting to like push in?
No.
They're just standing there,
They're standing.
making any sound.
Nope.
Hmm.
Swaying a bit
I asked Xander
with the wind.
what does it look like when a undead walks up to the door?
You're asking him,
Yes, I'm asking him.
and he says, "Try to pretend like you don't have any knees."
No, I mean, do they walk straight up?
You're asking him
Yes.
what happens. Yeah, he's saying, it seems like they know where to go in the mob. They eventually make circles around, basically another layer around.
Okay.
They fill in one at a time.
They fill in one at a time.
Yes.
Okay.
What you're saying is he lets large packs in at a time once a pack is
Yeah.
built up.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, here's what I want to do then. I want to go around the outside of the clearing to the opposite side, and I want to come in from that direction.
Okay. So you guys might want to kind of talk with each other about what your movements are going to look like how to communicate without communicating.
How easy is it, like, if we look at each other's eyes, how easy is it to, like, sort of give a facial expression under this makeup?
Not particularly difficult. I mean,
Okay. Well, I assume just go with instinct. I trust each one of you. Maybe Bovar a little less, but you're a
Okay,
warrior, so...
understandable.
These we're military dwarves, right, so to speak.
Yes. Yes.
Dwarves don't have a military sign language, do they?
They do. They have sort of very basic tactical commands that they can give.
What,
Like,
like
you know,
five or six of them or so?
yeah, like hold, look, stay sharp, stay frosty.
Yeah, well, there's probably time to teach them to Walzer and Aguilar,
Okay.
or is it not safe to make those as a zombie?
Well, if you just,
Sander,
as
do you
long
think
as
we
you
could
just kind
hide
of,
some hand movements?
and he says, go in and give me your best shot.
I guess I'll do zombie hand movements.
How do you do it? Do you just kind of keep it hanging at keep your arms at your sides, but still kind of move
Wherever
your
the
hands?
arm is when you make the hand sign, you just keep it there. So obviously you can have some amount of hand movement, I assume. As we observe the undead, as we go through, I think
So,
our impersonation will improve. But
Of all the undead, of all the zombies, the couple of zombies that you see mixed in amongst the skeletons, you see that three of them have both of their arms dangling at their sides,
uh-huh.
and two of them have both of their arms, like permanently cocked at the elbow, so their hands are kind of up in the air, like they were laying
Interesting.
down,
Like rigor
and, they were-
mortis.
like they were laying down, and their hands flopped like to their chest, and then they got up that way,
So rigor mortis
Ah.
then?
something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would go as tense as I can with all my limbs. I would keep one sort of across my chest and the other one sort of like dangling at my side. So I guess my left hand would be across my chest, sort of like supporting the
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
supporting the
Like when you were quote unquote killed, you tried to grab it or something.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
And the other hand would just be sort of almost trying to mock being broken, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
I see that.
yeah. And then I would have, like, maybe I'd drag my right foot or something like that.
Stack. Yeah. Okay. Engelard, you do anything in particular?
Probably,
Try to make yourself look as inconspicuous as possible.
yeah. Probably, maybe do something a little bit similar, but not quite the, I don't know, maybe not, fuck it, just inconspicuous, just try to be as inconspicuous as possible.
Inconspicuous zombie. Okay. And then Bafar.
I'm gonna sort of try and supplement my natural charisma with the fact that I'm a short, stout dwarf wearing a bunch of armor. So I'm essentially gonna like tin can it, like have my.
I just imagine you waddling, like.
Yeah, basically like R2D2 status. Like most of my otherwise zombie or not zombie movements hidden by the bulkiness of the armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and
I see that. Yeah.
hide the nature of movement.
Gotcha. So do you want to try to, Bafar? You can go and make up some hand signals.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that.
Fist up means hold.
Well, we can't do any up, right? We can't do
Right,
any
right,
sudden movements of the
exactly.
arms. So it'll be fist is stop. Maybe two fingers is there's something that you should be seeing, even though I can't point at it. Open palm is keep moving. Open palm that slightly twitches backwards is we need to leave, like back away. And the reverse is we need to hurry and go forward. And then let's see, those are all of the.
What about, like, closing your fist and opening it is like engage?
Live long and prosper.
Well, at that
Yeah.
point, I think cover's blown if you're engaging.
Well, I mean, it could
it's
be like
possible
a-
we could encounter just like three,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
there are three that are blocking a doorway we need to get through. If we kill them, we can probably, like, it's a stealth video game. If you kill the guys who notice you, then the entire base isn't alerted.
Right. Okay.
Or they could be psychic though. I suppose we don't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so I think that's pretty good. As I
That's
said
good. Go with
earlier, I'm gonna sneak around the outside. and come in from the other direction to where we're sitting right now.
Okay,
Of the
so you
clearing.
move around. So basically, Walzer leaves. What are the rest of you guys?
I'm
You wait a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
yeah, and maybe try to come in from a different area than he did.
Okay.
Like literally not the same exact direction as him.
Right.
But I guess I'll end up going in second.
Okay. So, and then Buffer.
I'll wait a little too long, and then I'll start going. Like a noticeable pause.
Okay. Noticeable pause. Do you wait until you see Walzer show up in the group?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, there's no fuss that's made as you take your spots that you're supposed to take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you stand there. And stand there. And the sun continues to set.
I'll lock my knees in my armor, so I don't have to stand all like, I don't have to get tired standing.
I want everybody to make a constitution check.
I think mine's like 11.
Well, I failed that.
Oh,
I was also
nice.
doing a thing.
Come on, baby. I am like the most
Yeah.
constituted person out there.
Angular, what's your constitution?
14.
Or 14.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Get fucked. Are you serious, dude? Are you fucking
What?
serious? Alright, yeah, go on. 14 then.
So, yeah, Walzer and Engelard, you're able to keep your stance. Buffar, when you go to, lock your knees, you actually stumble one step and bump into the zombie in front of you. And,
I'll try and cover that by like reacting to it way too much. Like I don't have much balance at all.
okay. Oh, I see that. That looks good. Alright. Nothing untoward happens to you.
Smooth
Time
as silk.
continues to, yeah, nailed it. Time continues to pass.
Nailed it.
Eventually, as the moon is high in the sky, you hear noise coming from y'all's left in the trees and in the brush and in the underbrush. So it seems like something's coming. You can't really look because you're going to give yourself away. But you kind of strain your eyes to the left,
Alright.
and eventually a torso, a zombified torso, crawls its way out into the clearing very slowly, one hand in front of the other, dragging.
It's old John. Oh, hey, man.
No. But this torso with arms basically makes its way next to, I guess Buffar would be last, so makes its way next to Buffar. And this zombie has essentially like entrails just following it behind, basically a line of intestines that leads from it to the tree line where it came from. And it's disgusting.
Of course.
That's kind of the nature of all this. The moon is high in the sky, and it's at that point that the ghoulish doorman essentially comes to life. And he says, "Welcome, loyal followers. Yes, welcome. You're all here for our Lord's celebration, I take it."
Say nothing.
Well, I thought so. Come in and make yourselves welcome. And the strange undead doorman cackles as he opens wide the iron-coated double doors and steps aside, motioning the crowd inside. And one at a time, the zombies and skeletons, single file, walk up the steps. One of them falls over and lands on the ground, and then gets back up and takes his normal spot. But they have kind of a hard time getting up the stairs.
Okay.
Alright.
And basically single file, doorman quietly looks up and down each of the undead as they pass through. You see that he finds there is a knife strapped to the belt of one particular zombie, and he takes that. He kind of holds it in his hand. Other than that, none of the other undead have weapons. And he makes his way through the whole crowd. Takes a couple of 45 seconds or so for the first group, and then for the second group, and then for the third group, and then basically a couple of minutes have gone by the time it's your turn. And the first one up is Walzer, right? First one.
Mm-hmm.
And the ghoulish doorman kind of looks up at you. He puts a hand on the lucerne hilt, and he kind of wiggles it a little bit.
I wiggle with the wiggles.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And he says, you can see he's kind of confused. He's kind of trying to think what he should do, because he tries to pull it a little bit, and I assume you go with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. And he'll say, and he'll kind of just let you go through with it.
Hell yeah, brah. Alright. Perfect.
Secondly, Engelard kind of looks up and down, sees that you're no threat whatsoever, and lets you go without a fuss.
I ain't got shit, Captain.
And then the dwarf, and he kind of looks, not up and down, but just down at the dwarf.
Gets down on one knee, on his belly, looks him in the eye.
No, he kind of looks. He kind of looks. He looks and kind of pat your belt. Just kind of maybe he doesn't know how crafty dwarves are, and then he just kind of lets you go through without much of a fuss.
So how long is the cavity check on the dwarf?
Oh, it's about. That would be most unpleasant, I think, for everybody involved. Undead cavity searches.
Yeah, let's not even imagine that in our mind's eye.
I'm imagining it.
Why not?
I'd imagine it'll go something like this. Oh man, this is a really tight cavity search for an undead. That's a little strange.
You're gross. All right, well, I progress then. Unhindered.
Basically, when you enter the door, Walzer's the first one in.
Mm-hmm.
You go inside. You catch a glimpse, pretty much, of the first floor of this place, and I'm going to put you guys there. I've drawn a crude map because I was going to do this earlier, but I forgot until just now.
Okay, well I can't show the map on the thing, so
that's for y'all.
It's just for our benefit.
It's green. It's not green particularly, but except a couple of another. Oh god, that's not right. Essentially, the bottom is the double doors that you came in at.
Okay.
And all of the undead are Can you see in real time as I'm drawing this stuff?
Yep.
No. So I'll let go.
Yeah. All of the undead walk single file into this room.
Okay. Is there anyone in the room?
In this room, no.
No, in the room with the stairs, I guess they are.
Oh, so yeah, the main room, the big room.
Yeah.
No, there's nobody there. You see a flight of stairs that lead upward, and
how worn are the stairs? Are they covered in dust? Like, what's going on here?
No, not really. It looks in fine enough repair. Oddly enough.
Okay.
You see that there's 3 doors on the far wall.
Is there anything written? Any weird reasons why these doors would be of any importance on the outset?
One of them does. The one to the far right does have some kind of plaque. From what you can see, you definitely can't read what it says. You're too far away.
Sure. All right.
And so, do you follow the group? And there's a chandelier in this room.
So there's literally no one. How far behind is the ghoul?
Well, since you're the last 3, he kind of just lets the dragging torso kind of go in without a fuss.
Okay.
He doesn't even pick it up and help it along.
You said there were stairs, right? So, can he see into the door that we're in?
Well, yes, he can definitely.
Okay, then I'll follow the group.
Yeah, okay. I'm following.
Engelard's following. Lafar following. buff
Well,
aren't following.
yeah. I'm not.
I just thought I'd ask. I don't know if you want to, you know.
No, he breaks into a sprint. This is his time. This is his moment to shine.
Yeah. No.
No.
When you
yeah,
bring up the
just-
rear into this large room that's to the left, you see that there are long tables on the right and left containing platters of various hors d'oeuvres.
Someone has a sense of humor.
One platter has livers, one has hearts, stomachs stuffed with what looks like ribbons of skin, kidneys, tissue steaks on toothpicks, lady fingers, literally.
Haha, zing.
Oh.
Yeah, you like that? Tongues of all sorts and sizes, ears of as many types, ribs with meat still on them. A punch bowl sits in the center of the right table. It's just blood. It's clearly blood. There are eyeballs floating in it.
Ooh.
Of course.
Teeth appear to be littered around the floor. The ceiling is strung with intestines to act like streamers.
And that's just
and
a waste of good food.
You see nearly 60 or 70 skeletons and zombies fill the room, moving back and forth in pairs in some mockery of dancing.
Someone has a sense of humor, for sure.
In the left southern corner are three skeletons on a dais. One holds a lute with one string, one holds a tambourine with no membrane, and the third a pan flute with no lungs. They move as if they're playing the instruments, but only the tambourine's kind of clack is heard, and the occasional accidental lute note. The 30 undead you've entered with put their hands on the previous one's hips, form a line, and begin to conga around the room.
Well, I guess
I
I'm
guess,
dancing with Engelhard. Bovar gets to dance with the fucking...
Can I even reach the hips of the zombie in front of me?
Well, the zombie in front of you is Engelhard.
Can I reach Engelard's hips?
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I do the conga as well. Zombie conga.
Yeah, zombie conga. You do it poorly, obviously, because everybody's doing it poorly. It's really quite bizarre because there's no music, there's not nearly any sound at all besides the shuffling.
Okay, I want to take a perception check and see if I can see Alistair's hat in this fray.
You don't. There's no check.
Okay,
You just
cool.
don't see. You don't see it. You do see though that in the corner of this room there's a door, in kind of it's got the L-shaped corner. You see it on the map right there.
Yes, I do, yeah.
There's essentially a very thin door in that little closet room, and otherwise this room just has the tables and.
Is there anyone near this
couple
door?
of chairs. Well, there's kind of zombies and skeletons everywhere, so yeah.
But does it look like anyone's guarding the door?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Does
Right.
it look like there are any
What are you doing?
ghouls actually presiding over this party?
Well,
Nope.
I guess I would try and just hang out there for a while.
Well, you're congaing right now.
Yeah, so we would just wait until something happens, I guess.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
you
like,
conga.
yeah, we conga.
When do you stop?
When the rest of them stop.
They do stop,
Okay.
Okay.
and they kind of pair up and begin to dance with one another.
I,
I'm gonna send it to Walzer.
yeah.
How big was the group of zombies, including us, that we came in with?
You came in with 20 others.
20?
There's about 60 in here now.
Okay, so that means that there is actually an uneven number of zombies because Torso Guy has not come in here yet.
Okay,
So
fine. Torso guy has come in here.
Well, I pair up with Torso Guy. What I do is I like pick him up underneath the armpits and hold him up and pretend to dance with him, but then I just go wherever I want because I'm carrying him.
All right. Sounds good.
That's good stuff.
And I'm going to slowly, while dragging his intestines, that go all the way out the door, and
The skeleton trips on the intestine.
oh no, that's what I do. I walk my way around the room, winding the intestines slowly, like while dancing, and
Yeah.
then like getting them wrapped up with the table, and then pull it tight, like causing everything to fall over. Every zombie falls over.
Okay. Yeah, I see
That's what I'm
that.
gonna try and set up. I'm gonna try and set that up since his intestines are seemingly
Endless.
endless.
Endless ball of intestines.
Well, yeah, you do your best. It's not endless. You get you do your best, but and you pull it tight. And you tried to wind it around one of the tables, right?
Well, yeah, basically to make it so it could get taunt, I went around the room,
Mhm.
and then used the table basically as the fulcrum.
Okay.
I clenched my fist, basically.
I mean, I didn't go quickly. I didn't hurry. I sort of, lazily. Like a large period of time happens where I'm setting this up,
Okay.
Yeah.
trying not to be like blatantly obvious. Obviously,
And I just.
I'm hoping that if something disrupts the party, someone's gonna come in to, like, get the party going again.
Mm.
If a bunch of zombies fall over, someone's gonna be like, "Hey, get back up and start dancing." And then we'll be like, "Oh, that's clearly a force of intelligence here."
Does the ghoul follow the last one in, by curious?
Nope.
Okay.
The door to this party room just kind of shuts.
Shuts.
Yeah.
Does it latch?
Not sure.
Okay. I say then we just wait half an hour.
Well, whenever Bafar, do you try to stop Bafar from doing his
No. Aside
No.
from making a fist, which he probably doesn't see.
Okay. That's fine. Bafar succeeds in doing what he intended to do, and was able to, basically when he pulls the thing taut, and essentially one zombie falls over, which knocks over another zombie, who trips on the intestine that was round around him, who knocks over a skeleton that falls into one of the tables, which nudges the table that gets caught on the intestine and lurches, and a bunch of various humanoid organs fall into the floor, and a zombie slips on bile and falls into another zombie, which falls into Engelard.
I let go of Engelard at this point and let him
Okay.
fall.
Okay, Engelard falls. Engelard, do you want to make a dexterity check?
For sure.
Oh damn. Dexterous
Okay.
as an undead, not in real life though.
Yep.
Nope.
You stand very undeadedly still.
Okay.
Okay. That may be suspicious.
Was he able to ignore the dex check and just fall over?
You can if you want to.
I mean, if I don't want to make it basically stand out, so I'm gonna fall. If I'm gonna stand out, it's being, fall the hell over.
Engelard falls
I mean,
over.
with a perfect dexterity check, he should theoretically be able to remain upright, but in an undead-looking fashion.
Or fall over without hurting himself.
Yeah.
something.
Well, he didn't hurt himself regardless.
I mean, that would.
He
I had
just
to be
falling.
pretty bad at falling over, purposely falling over and hurt myself.
He falls into Walter.
Oh, well, I imagine... Okay, well, I would take a step back. Okay, so my intention here, Graham, is to keep the Lucerne in my body as a disguise. So that's my main intent here without... Like, if I have to hurt myself or fall over to do it in such a way that it will keep it in there, then I will.
Okay, I see that. So let's say you just kind of by chance you step out of the way of Engelard, and he hits a skeleton that was next to you,
Okay, that works.
Scroll.
and the skeleton falls over and hits a zombie, and the zombie staggers over to another zombie, and then slips on the intestine, and then hits the other table, and the table lurches, and the punch bowl falls into the floor, shatters, blood goes everywhere, an eyeball rolls near Engelard's mouth.
And Engelart eats it.
Yeah, and
I mean, I mean,
blood kind of begins to seep through the cracks in the tile, or through the the grout in the tile. And
Yeah.
yep. And so now the party is in disarray, essentially. Now.
Okay.
I'm going to keep dancing with the corpse just because.
I also keep dancing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make the impression that this happened because I was dancing normally, and
any
therefore
undead that is still upright is to continue to attempt to dance, and any undead that have fallen over attempts to get up if they can.
I guess I'm gonna try it to get up in a horribly awkward way.
Okay.
I have to use the bathroom quite badly. Is there any chance we could take a?
Yeah, we'll take a break here, and we can.
No breaks.
No
No
breaks
breaks.
on the fun bus. Yeah.
No breaks on the crazy train.
Yeah, so we'll take a break. Yeah. and
Undead don't take breaks.
We'll be back, I guess.
You're breaking your cover. So, Thofar, the dwarf, is dancing with zombified torso
Yep.
and has wound the intestines of the torso around the room and caused about half of the party to fall over.
It's pretty impressive that he managed to get 30 zombies to fall over with intestines.
Yeah. He did. And essentially they're trying to get up, they're not doing it. The band is still playing, quote unquote, since they weren't really affected. And about 15 minutes go by,
Mm.
and a lot of the undead are having a hard time getting back up.
Phone,
And
can't get up.
that's when you all hear something, or you three hear something, and that is something, a voice shouting very loudly from outside.
Is it recognizable?
Sounds Beachcrestian, sounds common.
Like, is it Alistair?
Definitely not. No,
Okay.
it's not
Is it
like
Xander or the dwarves?
no.
Okay.
It's not outside. It's the room with the chandelier, the main room, the foyer.
Yeah.
And then you hear basically very heavy footsteps, and then a figure opens the door to this room and sees the carnage that has been exacted on this room.
Okay.
You see this creature, looks like a human, but has skin of a sickly yellow hue, like a healing bruise. That's the color of its skin.
Hmm.
You hear some metallic clinks and clacks as it walks, as it's about 10 feet tall, and scrapes his head against the ceiling.
Is it wearing a helmet?
He has greasy, stringy black hair and bizarre purple eyes.
Is he wearing the same outfit that the guy in the tapestries was? When we
Similar,
were...
yeah. He's got a black vest and white linen shirt stained with bile and kind of, stained,
Okay.
yellowish. The creature has rabbit fur shoes and breeches. When he comes in, he's twirling a key ring around his finger that's got basically one key on it. The key ring is enormous, but the key is normal sized.
What color is the key?
It's just a normal key.
Is it
Silver.
silver, gold?
Yeah, so it's just silvery color.
Okay.
It sees you and looks around and attempts very, very politely to help the guests up. It's like, oh, did you fall over? Oh, here, let me help you with that. And he leans down and picks up a zombie and basically picks him up with one hand and sets him back on his feet and kind of adjusts his clothing.
Okay, does it look like he
Like a
struggles
sailor.
with it?
Who?
The guy picking up the zombie.
No.
Okay.
And then he picks up a skeleton. He basically goes around, and as he walks through, he's so big that he knocks over one of the first zombie that he picked up back up. And, it's kind of making his way around the room. And Offar, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that at one point, this creature, this humanoid, was at one point an ogre.
Oh, okay.
So he's like rotund?
Oh, he's just very large. He's about 10 feet tall, and he's got some girth to him. He's got some fat to him, yeah.
Okay.
Ogres are just big guys.
He's
is the
eaten
point.
well, yeah. And he very slowly goes around the room, being very polite, making one-sided small talk to all of the guests, It's like, oh, enjoying the party? Yes, enjoying the festivities. Oh, I see someone knocked over the punch bowl, and he leans over, and he's going around picking up the skeleton, setting it on his feet, knocks over a zombie, picking up the shards of glass from the punch bowl after he's put everybody back on their feet. He comes around to Engelard, and picks him up upright with one hand, and puts him sets him back upright, and at that point he has noticed that the culprit is this intestinal strand, and attempts to, sidle very politely, make his way, pardon me, going around the zombies and skeletons to the end of the intestinal line and begins to spool it up.
How is he doing it? Is he like, have you ever wrapped a hose around your arm sort of thing?
Yeah, he's doing it like around his hand though.
Okay, yeah, alright.
And he makes it to the torso, and then just kind of unceremoniously drops it on the ground right near Buffar. And he smiles. He looks at Buffar, smiles, gives a big orange tooth smile, and he looks at Buffar and says, "Enjoying the festivities?"
Have other zombies, when he talks to them, stopped dancing and looked at him?
Nope.
Okay, then I just keep dancing.
Okay. He says, "Oh yeah, oh definitely, yeah. The weather is nice, isn't it?" "Oh yeah, okay. Well, enjoy yourself. Yes. Oh, you got a lucky lady there, I see." And he politely makes his way, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, knocks somebody over, picks him up, and makes his way outside the door.
Mentally composing a song about Buffar the Brave.
Yeah, and he exits the room.
Dances with a lady half his size.
Yeah.
Half his size.
Exactly, yeah, that's the joke, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's how you also say it. You have to emphasize because it's funny. Anyway, well, I guess that's what happens if we disrupt the party.
So, does he go through the door on the end of the hall?
Yeah, he goes through the door you came in.
He just comes in, then leaves, and comes out. Does he shut the door behind him?
Yep.
Is it do we hear a latching this time?
No. If you're listening for it, no.
Okay. Did it look like he was using the key to open the door by chance?
No, he just has it with him.
Okay. So how does he open the door from the inside?
There's a handle.
Okay, so it's a regular door. Does it swing inwards or outwards?
It's a regular door. When you came in, it goes inwards. It comes into the room.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's just, undead aren't known for being, using doors.
Did it make a sound when it opened?
Yeah, regular door sounds.
Was it like a squeaky door? Is it obvious the door is opening?
Yes, it is obvious the door is open.
Okay. Just from sound alone, I mean.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, yeah, I see he wasn't being particularly stealthy trying to open the door.
Okay.
How long did it take after the party got disrupted for him to show up?
About 15 minutes.
That is a acceptable amount of time to go over to the corner while dancing and accidentally bump into that other door and see if it opens.
Sure. Like bump into the handle?
Yeah, try and get it to open nonchalantly.
Nonchalantly, yeah. Go ahead and...
Yeah.
I want you to make me a check.
Okay.
This is going to be a... let's call it a dexterity check to see if your dancing partner notices you doing something on zombie, like since the zombie's right there.
Oh, I would assume that the zombie is well and truly smitten with Bofar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entry. How about a bonus? How about -5 bonus?
Okay. Well, -5 bonus.
Well, I hope you roll a 20.
Which is if it's -5, then I make it.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Well, I'm glad I brought it up.
Yep.
Good job, Walzer.
You're welcome.
So you basically stumble, presumably over the intestine that the ogre unceremoniously dropped at your feet.
Yeah.
And you fall into the door, and basically it's this small 10-foot by 10-foot room that is empty, except for a series of pipes that run from floor to ceiling on the far wall. and they basically
Okay.
come from the ceiling through the room and down through the floor. There is a window as well that you can see the forest out of.
All right. Well,
Got iron
that's
bars on
nothing
it.
then. I'll pick myself back up, pick my dancing partner back up, and then continue to dance.
Okay. What happens next?
That's a damn good question.
Engelard, what do you do next?
Engelard, you muted.
Fucking shit.
Normally I'd see his mouth moving, but like I assume he's just muted himself.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
basically, I just since I wouldn't picked up whatever, I would I just nonchalantly begin dancing again.
Okay.
Trying
With
to reach my
anybody,
partner.
with anybody in particular? Oh, yeah.
Trying to return to my partner.
Okay.
Is the floor made of wood or stone?
Stone.
Okay.
At this point, I'm going to like how fast are they dancing?
Very slowly.
Okay. And are any of them aware of their surroundings by chance? Like, are they actively avoiding
not be-
tables?
Yeah. Well, they'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
They'll bump into it first, and then won't go near it again.
I want to sort of throw Engelard into the door leading outwards.
Okay.
How so? Describe it to me.
Like, as in maybe we're doing the twirl or something, and I trip, and I push him
Well,
into
that's
the door.
very unzombie-like.
Well, I mean,
When I say dancing, they're kind of shuffling at each other.
oh, right. I thought they were like, hands on hips, sort of like turning around and around sort of thing.
Maybe some of them have their hands on the other one's hips, but they're still just kind of shuffling at each
All
other.
right. Well, let's say that I shuffle in such a way that Engelard is back towards the door,
Okay.
and then I trip and I push him into the door.
So you cut in with his dance
Yeah.
partner.
Well, I thought he was dancing with me.
Yeah, we originally
that's
were
what
dancing with each other.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Fine. No problem.
The idea here is, Engelard, that I hope that you would see it, but I'll let you decide what you do.
I can
Do you wink
I
at
can
him?
dance across that door and lead the intestines, which have just been dropped again on the floor, so there can be sort of a plausible deniability for
Right.
tripping into this
logic
door.
reasons. Yeah, I get you.
God, this is the most awkward thing I've ever done in D&D.
This is.
I mean, and I once almost had anal sex with a man on D&D, so, like, there's that.
Okay.
It's true.
I know.
This is a delightful puzzle to solve, in my opinion.
So, yeah, Engelard, you're flying into the door at
Yep.
breakneck zombie pace. I assume it's
Breakneck
like one of those
zombie
things where you lose your center of balance, but you're also walking backwards. That's what I imagine it being like. He
Like
doesn't
that.
actually just get flung into the door. He just sort of like stumbles backwards
Yeah.
into the door.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
since his dancing partner is you, he's not gonna be forced to make a check,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's going to fall backwards into the door, and just because of his weight, he's going to fall into the foyer.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And I will stumble towards him.
Okay. Yeah, attempting to regroup with your partner, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then we will continue dancing while in the foyer.
In the foyer, you see, because you're not a zombie, that the foyer is completely empty.
Okay.
Except for there's 3 doors and the set of stairs that leads up, and underneath it there's a set of stairs that lead down. Can't really draw it that way, but
Yeah.
At this point, like, before I leave, I also make eye contact with Bofar.
okay. Who is obviously smitten with his dancing partner.
They're smitten with each other by now.
I assume he's heard them. He's heard you.
Or he saw me.
So I'll at least be generally looking in your direction to see what's up.
And then I'll sort of like... Let me just take a look here. I will. I will say, I'll open my palm at him, and then I'll walk through the door.